So I'm here with Rashaun from South London and Maudsley and Erin from Oxley's. We were talking a little bit earlier about the challenge of trying to change CAMHS services or improve CAMHS services as young people and as participation workers. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience and your ideas about how to go about doing that?
It's a huge question. I guess it's sort of my everyday job, really. I think big challenges are kind of the pace at which service transformation happens within big organisations. So actually things happen very slowly, kind of especially when you're looking at culture change and the ways that people work. And young people often live quite fast lives. They may not want to stay involved for a really long time, or they may have other focuses, so kind of study and family life. So it can be quite hard to give them a meaningful experience which lets them see the change that they make. I think we're also, as participation workers, guilty of getting caught up in that, so we don't sort of celebrate the small steps enough, and we don't separate out those steps of progress. We focus on a goal and then we feel quite frustrated at all the barriers and blocks. So bureaucracy, I think organisations work in a very adult way and often work in quite dysfunctional ways. So when we're looking at involving young people, we're not just challenging the issues that prevent us from involving young people, we're challenging the issues of an organisation as a whole and the dysfunction of an organisation as a whole. I think quite a lot of the time people don't have the time or the headspace. One person can't do all of this. You know, it requires kind of teams, it requires snowball effects, it requires kind of different methods for different people, for different things. And CAMHS services at the moment under a huge pressure. You know, a big challenge which I'm experiencing currently is how you involve young people meaningfully and staff meaningfully when services are being recommissioned. Because, you know, everything that you're, as a staff member who works for a provider organisation, all I can affect is what my organisation does, you know, unless the local authority and the CCG decide to develop good links. Sorry, lots of jargon there, but yeah, and I guess that's another challenge, is we get very caught up in that, in all of that. And it depends what your class has changed, because I think I have to keep reminding myself that actually the young people that come to my session on the Thursday night, like, that's a change already. The fact that they feel like there's somebody that they talk to that cares about what they say, that's changed already.
I think one of the problems as a young person, what the problem would be, is when a clinician does ask you, do you want to get involved, you sit there going, why would I want to get involved? But I think a way of like improving that would be having actually young people do it themselves, like go to young people and literally talk to them, because from experience I know that works a lot better than working with a clinician. I think another barrier is always the idea that some people have bad experiences and some people don't get knowledge. They might have all these young people that are willing to help, but they don't have a clinician or a patient involvement worker that can actually deal with it. So I think sometimes it's like some people just say we'll do it on involvement, like patient involvement, and they think it's going to do it by itself and not really realise it needs time and effort and work. I think what also can be a barrier is the fact that sometimes you only get one person, and some clinicians think one person isn't enough. And I think sometimes they have to realise that just
do you mean one young person?
Yeah, like one young person. It's not enough, and they think, oh, we can't really run the group, but that one person can still make a big effect. I think that's one of the main things I do hear people say, we don't have enough people. One person, still enough, so yeah.
And it's that big thing of starting where you are, isn't it? And acknowledging that, like, this is still baby steps, and so that any progress we make is good progress.
Yeah.
So that one person is important.
Yeah, and I think sometimes clinicians don't realise how simple things they can just include a young person. Like some people think, oh, we'll do a bid and then get young people involved. And then by the time they've gotten the young person involved, they literally have to change everything because they've done it all wrong. So I think sometimes it's just getting a young person in from the beginning that can just...
Or like just have a conversation. Yeah, like it's funny how much people struggle, I think, with saying, well, we need to understand what their experience of this. Like, you know, so they create these layers of patient experience groups within the trust, and they work to a specific format, and no one's actually just talking to young people.
Good point, thank you ever so much.
Thanks.